Greetings, and welcome back to Chaos Theory. I'm Aurian Archive, and as you've no doubt noticed, on the screen in front of me today is Idle Champions, the officially licensed Wizards of Coast Dungeons and Dragons idling game. Okay. Uh, and we're warming up for a Ricky Mothership raid uh, on the actual computer, so we're actually looking at the laptop right now. Okay, so give me a second while my attention is divided between two screens. Alright, now, as to Briv. Briv is one of the most skippable champions that Idle Champions has forwarded. He's in the same slot as Quill Vicona Dielis Calliope and Prudence. Prudence is very useful if you have a lot of her kind of Tiefling, I think. Quill is very useful for being able to heal and buff. Vicona is another good healer and DPS. Dadius is a very good DPS in combo with Nova. Calliope is a very good bard. So, Briv is kind of an extremely skippable avatar, at least in Idle Champion, because there's not really a whole lot of places where you'd actually want to use him. One of his big things is a skip, where he skips zones on they call it unnatural haste, where he springs forward and skips over zones. Which, okay, that sounds very good if you're trying to get to your wall, which is at a point where, as a player, you can't go any further because you don't have the team, the gold income, or any of the other required components to keep a team moving forward to gain more levels. And that sounds really great on paper. And the problem is it's not very practical, because as you get closer to your wall, to the point at which your team naturally slows down, you run into ramping difficulties. And a big concern is, say, a repetitive or an end zone ramper, like Walnut. Walnut's documents or capabilities, where you just have to defeat one enemy, and then the rest of the team gets a huge damage buff. And so once you crack that first enemy, the rest of them normally roll over. So if you're using ramp characters, someone like Briv, who may jump you over your natural wall limit, can actually be rather a big pain in the butt. He's also not really that good of a tank. He is, for where he's at, this is what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's slot 5. And problem is, you can get Sentry before him, who is a much better tank and has much greater benefits. And you can get Gromma before that as well, who's also a much better tank and much better overall damage buff and everything else. So Briv is not someone I can conceivably see a use for. But his special, or his steel bones and his steel bone stacks, the challenge for Briv is to get to 2,500,000 stacks of steel bones in one adventure. Now, this is more problematic than it might first seem, uh, because he is an otherwise lackluster. There's not really a whole lot to this character. He not really doesn't really bring a whole lot to the table. Doesn't really do a whole lot for teams. I actually had to construct a weaker team to farm enemies who would attack Briv. Uh, and this is you can see the makeup that I've got going here. I've got Okira. Wait, hang on. We've started attacking the dropship, so I should probably go focus on that for a second. Or at least get characters following it. Okay, there we go. Alright, so, Briv, kind of useless. Getting his, this is Divine Patience, bonus is just a pain in the rear end. So we start off with Akira, and that's because she's a healer. And I can put her to the back. I don't have to have her up close like I would with, say, Sisipia, who's also a very good choice selection. Alright, and we have started on the pylons. Okay, we will follow that person. Because they can fly. Okay, anyways, so Akira chosen because she's a healer. Same reason Korth is in here. Korth does a hit point shield. So again, he keeps the tank alive. Then after Korth, Brig for he's not a healer, but he is a pretty good bard, so he's in the back to, well, help everything survive. Uh, and then we have Jarxel, Jarlaxle, who's here because, well, he's gold. Now, normally I would have used Paulton, because Paulton's generally better gold. I'm not using Paulton in this case because Paulton was just bringing too much damage, too much buff to the table. Jarxel also was trying to limit the number of characters that were on screen because I wanted to give the minimum amount of targets for enemies to hit. Next selected was Krull, which is basically for a pilfer. Again, this is just gold. Since I'm going to be standing here farming, I might as well maximize the amount of gold that's being uh, maximize the amount of gold is being obtained. After that, I'll probably come back and do a cleaner presentation. Actually, I may do a cleaner walkthrough, because the raid wasn't supposed to start until 3 minutes from now, so we kind of started early. Where'd everyone go? Oh, I went the wrong way. Wow. I am not having a good day. Yeah, okay, I'm going to pause this and come back to it when I'm not chasing around 30 other people.